it's not only a shift in the perception of the veterinarians, of the new generation of veterinarians coming up versus the old school ones, but there also is a perception shift among the clientele of younger pet owners versus older pet owners because they did have those same expectations. And, I agree with you that it's multifactorial, and I don't know if there's an easy solution during this time of flux.
Yeah.
But I think that there has to be some seeking of solutions, even if it means educating the older veterinarians as well as putting education out there to clientele.
Yeah.
So that they can understand that, in today's society, because it's not like it was in the baby boomers generation when they started that practice, there's a lot more happening in life now than there was then. There's a lot more going on in the home life. There's a lot more activity outside of work going on with a child's life and a family. And balancing all of that, is not as easy. I don't want to say it's not as easy, but it isn't. It's not as easy as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more to it, and there's a lot more income that needs to be earned in order to maintain a family. It's no longer just the old veterinarian who was working in the practice while the mom stayed at home. That's not a realistic scenario for most people nowadays.
Right.
They have to balance shifts, they have to balance workloads, they have to, and the cost of living has gone up tremendously. But like, you came in as a medical director and what new associate veterinarians are coming in. They can barely afford to get by on what they're making. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent place to stop for part 1 of the interview. And now the pet tales for this podcast is all about Heidi. She was my childhood dog. She was a German Shepherd. So you're going to hear from my dad, my mom, and myself all talking about Heidi.
Heidi ate dozens of cupcakes that you put on the table.
Right.
And I don't know if you made them for Girl Scouts or what.
No, I probably made them for Lisa's birthday.
And Heidi would stand up and just chomp out all the tips.
Well, and she ate like half of Dad's coconut cake that you made.
Yes. Yes, it was the first time I had ever made 7-minute frosting. Grandma Terry used to come to our house a lot for Dad's birthday. And one year, I had seen this cake recipe in Southern Living or something, and I decided that as a true Southerner, I had to learn how to make 7-minute frosting. And then after you made the frosting and you put it on the cake, then you covered the cake, I guess, in coconut, or you incorporated the coconut. I don't remember. But anyway, it was a beautiful cake, and Heidi, our German Shepherd, jumped up. The cake was on the kitchen counter, so it wasn't like she could just walk right up to it and snarf it up like she used to do cheese. So she jumped up and she licked a whole bunch of the icing, and I don't remember if she got into any of the cake or not. And I was like fit to be tied, because there was Grandma Terry, who was a bit fastidious, and her reaction was, let's just put it in the basement in Daddy's office, and then we'll just eat from the other side. And we did.
Heidi used to chase squirrels. And the first thing a squirrel would do when the squirrel saw Heidi was climb a tree. And Heidi would get under the tree and bark and bark and bark. And the squirrel would always be at the top of the tree, looking as if it was teasing Heidi. Well, one day we go out, there's a squirrel, Heidi takes off after it, and it climbs a tree, and it loses its footing, and it comes falling down right towards Heidi. All Heidi had to do was open her mouth, and the squirrel would have fallen right into it. But she was so shocked that the squirrel was falling down to earth that she didn't do anything, kind of froze. And the minute that squirrel hit the ground, it took off. And she still didn't get it. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Do you remember the time she ran off in the woods and she would not come back?
Was that when she cornered the hunter?
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Right? Didn't she?
Yeah.
Corner the
Yeah,
hunter by a
she
bunch of dead
did.
deer?
Yes. Well, this time she was gone, and we were just frustrated and went back inside. And all of a sudden, she shows up at the back door on the deck with an entire deer leg in her mouth. I mean, not just like the foot or the bottom, the whole leg, all the way up to the thigh. Oh my God.
With a big ass grin on her face. Yeah, I think there was a lot more deer killing back there than the neighbors knew about.
Do you remember when it was like, we had that like sheet of ice, that like huge ice storm, and we had that sled that was like a thin piece of plastic that would like roll up into a tube, and Dad unrolls it and had me sit on the sled, and he hands me a crowbar and Heidi's leash. Do you remember that? And then he like pushes, and he says, "When you want to stop, just slam the crowbar into the ice."
Worked.
And use Heidi to drag you back up.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought that was rather clever.
It was. I mean, it was like an emergency brake. When you had her cremated. Do you remember when you had her cremated and you were like, we're going to spread her ashes. And you wanted to do it in the garden, but it was really windy. So you gave each one of us a spoon, and we all had face masks on. And we just walked around the garden, like spooning her.
Well, and we put some underneath the neighbor's deck.
Yeah,
Because she would go and lie underneath their deck.
yeah.
We took them to all her favorite places. I forgot about the wind and the map.
Well, it's just like if somebody had come back there, like with this like bag of ashes and like face masks and spoons, like that doesn't look creepy at all.
I think that about wraps it up. As always, thank you for listening to this installment of Vetsplaining. I hope you enjoyed your time with me and ideally learned at least one new thing for the day. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, feel free to leave a comment below or email info@independenthillvet.com and put podcast topic or podcast comment in the subject line. Until next time.